AI has ruined my life. Now, I know that might sound dramatic, but let me tell you why. First of all, I want to say the reason people watch videos where it's just a person talking to a camera, and the reason that's made a big comeback on YouTube, is that everything is synthetic, artificial, manufactured, and only made in order to make money on social media nowadays. So this is all we got left. Me having a human to human conversation to talk about this. So all throughout my life, I've done many creative professions. I used to make music videos. I wanted to be a director of photography, which, if you don't know, is pretty much like the head of the cameraman in a video production. I used to be very into video production. But the common theme of my life is that I've always loved creative endeavors and projects. I made some money with video production. It was all right. But then after I had about 3 clients in a row that ended up paying me less than minimum wage for the hours I put into it, doing the best work I could with 6 years of experience and a camera that is Netflix certified, I had enough. I couldn't do it anymore. It was something that just kept happening to me. And that's when the competition with automation started. So even back then, this was only about 3 years ago, I noticed that people started to make comments, clients started to make comments. I can just do that with this tool. You don't need to edit with Premiere. I can do this in CapCut. I have an iPhone camera. It's pretty much just as good. Basically, as a professional, I've always loved to make things perfect to the level of quality that I wanted. That's professional. And that means fine-tuning very little things in a form of craftsmanship to make it perfect. And the problem is, a lot of people don't notice that stuff and they don't care. They don't care about craftsmanship anymore. It's about production. It's about produce. Meet the damn quota. Get this content out. And so I had enough with video production. A little before then, I started on TikTok. Don't click out, okay? I'm not a cringy TikToker. I just made videos that were creative. It was my creative outlet, and I really enjoyed it. I did that start TikTok at the December of 2018. So that's been about 6 years now. And I got success on TikTok. I got about 430,000 followers from that. But there's something that happened around 2022 that just made TikTok stop being fun to me. And that was that AI tools and things like CapCut started to become mainstream, which made it so everybody can do this. It doesn't matter if it low-key looks like crap. And I'm not judging people, but if it's 80% there, it's good enough. Post it. For example, there are a lot of examples. So basically, I've been trying to run for the last 3 years from the mass acquisition of skills, lowering the bars for skill sets to the point where your skill set suddenly becomes useless. And AI has been central to doing that to me. And that's the main theme of this video, and that's the problem that has basically been messing me up for 3 years. So what used to be skills, and a great example of this is Vine. Back then, not everybody could be a Viner. If you remember the Vine days, believe it or not, there was actually a lot of skill that went into making Vine videos and even Instagram videos. You had to know how to edit. Not everybody could make good videos on social media. But then once CapCut became mainstream with all of its AI tools, everything became, completely easy. Anyone can do the same things. So now that everybody is on the same level and editing is easy, making a video is easy, buying equipment's easy, all of a sudden the competition increases so much that there's no barrier to entry. And I know that having a low barrier to entry might be a good thing. But if you think about it, I think there should be barriers to entry because it makes you put a stake in the game. Beforehand, if you wanted to be good at video production, you had to learn a lot, or social media, like videos. You had to learn a lot of skills and spend a lot of hours to get those skills that set you apart from other people. And any old hack that wanted to join, again, I'm not judging people, but any person that just wanted to grab some money, they couldn't just quickly do that. They had to learn those skills. And because people that want money quick are not willing to put in the time to learn those skills, it weeded all of those people out. So the people that made it to that level of knowing all of these skills required to make good content and good videos and any good creative output, there's a lower amount of them, and it was easier to get attention because you earned it. You deserved the attention because you worked hard to get the skills required to get that attention. So now what happens when everybody is a hero? No one will be, to quote The Incredibles. Basically, when everybody can make content to almost the same level, now people are going to compete on in a much dirtier way, in a much more scammy way. They'll go to different lows. One way that this manifests is people on social media that are willing to do stupid things like eat a Tide Pod, as an outdated example, or whatever stupid thing they can think of. In a way, I respect that because at least you're still putting some skin in the game. You're doing something that most people don't want to do. But the problem is, when TikTok came out with its monetization, as you know, a video cannot be monetized until it reaches a minute. So now all of a sudden, with all these AI tools that have leveled the playing field 100%, now people are willing to just repost content. It all just goes to the lowest level. And what's upsetting for me is that on TikTok, I would be trying to put some good work into my videos and effort, and basically you post something you put a lot of hard work into, and it gets treated the same as something that's more entertaining but was stolen. Now, people don't care about hard work, which is actually fine. I'm not here to say hard work is, if someone makes a crappy video, but they worked hard on it, it is a crappy video. But what I am saying is that you can't compete with people that don't make anything. Like, you can't, as a creator, it's not very easy to compete with someone else that just reposts clips of other people that worked hard and steals their content. Like clips from TV shows or this or that. All that stuff took tons of skill and skilled people running the cameras, writers, all types of skills, money, investment, years of hard work. And then you got a person that comes along, takes the clip, makes a couple of alterations just so they can barely monetize it, and then they make thousands of dollars from it. And the truth is, if those people were not present and behaving in such a way, all the people that wanted to put hard work into their videos would actually get a lot more success, because once again, we'd be in a smaller group of hardworking people and the supply and demand would be different. So then I pretty much quit TikTok because I realized I can't compete with all of this automation. These people are essentially, some of them have automation processes that make videos for them, and they've made thousands of dollars. And basically, you can't really compete with that, can you? If you want to make your own content, at the very least, it's going to be a lot harder. So then I worked for a YouTube channel as a writer. I'm not going to go into the specifics of what channel it is, but they're at about 600,000 followers now. When I joined, they were at 200,000 followers. I worked for them for about 2 months. And when I worked at them, they jumped up about 200,000 followers more. I wrote scripts for these animated videos, and basically, to this day, the script I wrote for a series that I'd been wanting to make in some way or another for the last 4 years, it really took off. It got 3 million views. We made a second video, and that became the second most viewed video on the channel, or at least the top 4. I got paid the same flat rate. Based on the math, those 2 videos alone that I wrote the script for made, with the sponsor, at least $80,000. And I got paid $280 for each of them. Although I did negotiate a bonus for $200 per million views, although the guy hasn't paid me for the 3 millionth view. I guess he owes me $200. So, and the second video, he didn't give me the bonus. So for the first video that got 2 million views, I got a bonus of $400, which was cool. Haven't been paid for the 3 millionth on the first video. That's happened since. And the second one, he hasn't paid me any bonus. Now, why do I say that AI ruined my life? Because this was a great job. Then my grandpa died, and I took a week off because it really messed me up. When I came back, he fired me. The reason AI messed me up though, is that this guy then used AI based on the scripts I already wrote to make more lower quality videos, keeping the same series going. He's gotten millions of views ever since, making maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars based on the brand that I originally helped to make with the scripts and my idea for it. It's a series. And he replaced me with AI. No cost to him. So then I thought, well, I'll do Amazon KDP. Amazon KDP is publishing books on Amazon because it looks like I have a knack for writing. And that's where I am right now. But the more I watch these tutorial videos, the more I realize that you just need to make essentially... All right, here's what messes me up. These people on YouTube or whatever are using AI to write books. That's just not something I want to do. I don't want my portfolio to just be full of AI slop. I want to write things that mean something. I want my words to be relatable to humans, and I want it to come from the soul. And the more I watch these videos, the more I realize that these gurus on YouTube got rich from searching keywords and generating a book. I can't compete. I just simply can't compete. I can't write that fast. I published my first book and it's got 0 sales, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm not here to complain, right? But it's just dawning on me that I can't compete with this AI, dude. I don't want to contribute to making the internet a worse place. I actually like the internet a lot. I think the internet that was filled with things made by humans was great. And I think that if we project where this is going, the internet's gonna look like a pretty crappy place soon, full of all AI and probably bots. So I don't know what to do. Every time I think I have a valuable skill that would have been valuable 30 years ago, that 10 years ago would have been a career for me. It gets replaced with AI, and it makes my skill useless. So I guess I could do keyword research and try to write the book fast before the trend dies or something. But I can't do that without AI, and I don't want to use it. So I feel like I can't compete here. I wonder if anyone else feels like they can't escape their skill set being completely devalued by whatever new AI technology comes out next. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, I mean, these people say that they made tens of thousands of dollars within a couple of months. And they do. But any author throughout history would tell you that that's not realistic and that's not possible. But it is possible now because of AI. The only difference is one is using their soul to create something that they actually want to have a meaning to another person, and another is just generating slop. You could do it the hard way, just say, I'm going to do it the hard way. I'm going to do it the right way. But is it even worth it? When a carpenter gets replaced by a factory in China, does he just keep doing it the hard way? I guess so. It becomes something else entirely. It just gets boiled down to art. Whereas before I would have been able to compete in the corporate landscape in our economy. I would have been able to contribute and be part of it. But now I'm just a carpenter that makes art pieces with words. So I don't know what to say. I'm not complaining. I feel like whatever new skill I learn will probably just be replaced by AI eventually. So what's the point? It's happened about 3 times now. So yeah, sometimes I wish I was born 30 years ago when people actually cared about marketing copy, when there wasn't social media, when people wanted to write clever commercials, when people wanted to write clever movies, when people wanted to make art that had a deeper meaning to it, but could also make money. It was a beautiful time. But now we live in 2025. I guess there's no point in moping, but if anyone has any answers or ideas, I'm all ears. So I hope you guys have a good day, and thanks for listening to my rant.